Hi, my name is Brett Traxler, and today I'll be giving a presentation over my research over the discontinuation and non-publication in colorectal cancer clinical trials. Every day, thousands of clinical trials are conducted across the world. And every day, these clinical trials involve human subjects that are exposed to experimental drugs, medications, procedures, and etc. And so in 2007, the FDA decided that um, this is obviously important enough that all data from clinical trials need to be published, all the results. However, we see today that this is not being followed and the FDA is not um, enforcing this law that they passed. So a lot of these trials, if they don't get the results that they were hoping for or wanted, then they just don't publish the results. And so this trial or this study aims to look at the rates of the non-publication of these trials. So for our methods, we use clinicaltrials.gov for all of our data, and we performed an advanced search looking for colorectal cancer research. We looked for publications using methods outlined in our manuscript, and we emailed investigators if we couldn't find links to publications, looking for the publications, or if they were discontinued, why they were discontinued. So for our results, we had 428 articles included in our study. 305 had completed trials, and 123 were discontinued prematurely. Of the 305 that were completed, 80% of those had a verifiable publication. And a little more about the results. We can see that drug was the most common type of intervention among the colorectal cancer trials. And we can see that industry only published half of their results from their clinical trials, whereas they completed 80%, but only 50% got published. For the NIH, six of the seven NIH solely funded studies completed their study, but only 4 out of the 7 published the results of their study. And then if we look at enrollment, we can see that the less enrollment there is, the less likely it is to be completed or published. So in conclusion, we found that nearly 1 in 3 clinical trials do not get published. 1 in 4 trials are discontinued prematurely. And 20% of patients involved in these research trials did not have published results that they were enrolled in. So in our study, we had over 200,000 patients among these 428 trials, and 20% of those were in trials that were not published. So this is a concern for medical research as these patients are exposed to these potentially harmful drugs, but no data is given on them. So more transparency is needed when it comes to clinical trials and the data publication of these results. And that is it. Thank you for listening to my presentation.